الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين اللهم صل وسلم على عبدك ورسولك وحبيبك سيدنا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. So this is the last lesson of Surah At-Talaq. We emphasize here on the rules specifically and the wisdom behind every rule. We talk in the first time about what is before divorce, what even pre-marriage, and then we talk about during marriage, and then reconciliation, and then we come to the divorce, and we explain the process of divorce in details. Then Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala in the ayah number 6 in this surah, He said, أسكنوهن من حيث سكنتم من وجدكم ولا تضاروهن لتضيقوا عليهن. So we now talk about when you divorce a woman, what is in that waiting period? What's her rights in the waiting period? We said before that a divorce is a process in Islam. When a man gives the divorce for the woman, that doesn't mean the divorce is completed at all. So when he gives divorce, then the process starts. Divorce in Islam is a process, it's not a word. Word is just the beginning of the process. So when he say give divorce to his wife, then now she started her waiting period. Okay, what if during that waiting period his wife or the husband passed away? Does that woman involve in inheritance or not? What do you think? Yes, very good. So that indicates that divorce is a process. Just that first word, that doesn't mean it's completed. That's just the first step. So if the husband passed away during the waiting period, then that woman is still his wife, and she's involved in inheritance. And that's consensus between scholars. Okay, then the process starts. What's the rights of the woman during that waiting period? We said before, لا تخرجوهن. Yes, go on. Just announcement. Go on. Just take this.
Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. We have a black Volvo registration NU12CZJ, which is blocking a couple of cars leaving. It's parked in front of them. Could you please go and move it now immediately? Jazakallah khair.
Okay, what's their rights in their waiting period? We said before that لا تخرجوهن من بيوتهن ولا يخرجن. The husband should not let his wife to go to her family. The wife should stay in the waiting period because the marriage is still there. And also the wife should not leave the house. Now Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala emphasized this. He said, أسكنوهن من حيث سكنتم. Provide for them a residence, provide for them a house. So let them live in the house. That where you live, it means you just emphasize, don't let them go out. Min wujdikum, it means according to your means. Why he mentioned this? Number one, to emphasize the previous rule. Second, to this word, وَلَا تُضَارُّهُنَّ لِتُضَيِّقُوا عَلَيْهِنْ. Don't cause harm for them in this waiting period, then they will leave this house. How's that? Sometimes, for example, said he gave a divorce of his wife, so there is a type of hatred between them. Allah said she should live in the house till the waiting period finished. So he will say, okay, you will live here, but not in this room. Go in a very small room downstairs. Maybe there is a store downstairs. He put some pillow and, okay, you live here. You're still in my house. Allah said, وَلَا تُضَارُّهُنَّ. Don't do that. Don't do that to harm them to live. That's an example. Another example is to reduce the financial support. Because now the hatred is there. No, okay, you live here, but I'm going to give you just a little bit. So he tried to do anything to harm her too, then she will live by herself. Another example that Allah mentioned in Surah Al-Baqarah, that sometimes some husbands, they say, okay, he let her to live in the waiting period. Till the waiting period just about to finish, he said, I will return you now. Okay? And then when he returned her, after a while, he divorced her again. And let her in the waiting period. Till the waiting period about to finish, then return her again and divorce her. Allah mentioned this example in Surah Al-Baqarah. All of this is haram. Again and again and again. That divorce, in the Quranic perspective, it just could be the last solution. It's not a war between the spouses. So should conduct this divorce in the best way. You deal with Allah Almighty. That's why I always repeat, بِمَعْرُوف, بِإِحْسان. Do it in the best way. So when you let her to live in that waiting period, should live as it's normal. Could not be in the same bedroom, but give her a bedroom, very good bedroom, the same financial support. She's still his wife. Very important, because once he dies in that waiting period, she's just his wife. She involved inheritance. That's number one. Then he said, وَإِن كُنَّ أُولَاتُ حَمْلٍ وَإِن كُنَّ أُولَاتِ حَمْلٍ فَأَنفِقُوا عَلَيْهِنَّ حَتَّى يَضَعْنَ حَمْلَهُنَّ. We said before that waiting period are different types. So what if the wife is pregnant? So, and she's in the first month, suppose. The waiting period now lasts for how long? For 8 months. So it's long. Maybe now the husband doesn't like his wife, and that's a long waiting period. Allah emphasized this case. In that long period, when she is pregnant, her right is, number one, is housing. She's still in the house. Number two, أنفقوا عليهن, spend upon her. Because now, for her and for the child again also. Why he emphasized this? Because maybe the pregnant is so long. So it's now the divorce happened in the beginning. So maybe this husband wants to finish this quickly. Allah said no. Till the waiting period finish. حتى يضعن حمله. Till they give birth. فإن أرضعن لكم. Okay. Now he shift the discourse now to something else. What if the waiting period is finished and that woman has a child? Now there's another responsibility, which is to spend also. Because now in Islam, Qur'an emphasizes a lot breastfeeding, the natural one. There is an ayah in Surah Al-Baqarah, is half page of Mus'haf, half page, just about breastfeeding. Can you imagine? Because Qur'an look at Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala, the Quranic perspective, that breastfeeding is the best way for child, not the bottle feeding. Because number one, this is this advantage, benefit for the body, for the health, a lot of nutrients and antibodies for the body, for which protect babies from diseases and infections. But more important than that, that is breastfeeding is build strong emotional connection between the mother and the child. You know, subhanAllah, even the way that Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala, when the child, the mother put the child here, and look, her eyes just next to his eyes or her eyes. Look at the just Next, that's the way Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala encourage us is amazing. There is a strong emotional bonding here. And that make a lot of security, well-being, build a strong connection with his mom. That's why it's a right for a child. That breastfeeding is a right for a child Islamically. That's why when the parents want to go to the battlefield, should have a meeting for that. Mother can't take that decision by herself. That's Islamically wrong completely. They should come together, and it's highly recommended to have a reason why the mother doesn't breastfeed her child. Is there any medical issues? Is there any difficulties? If there is any issue, that's fine. But if there is no reason, that's not good Islamically. That's the right of the child. Okay, when they start this breastfeeding, Allah said in Surah Al-Baqarah, it's approximately up to 2 years. When they want to stop that, to wean a child before 2 years, they should have another meeting. That's meeting mentioned in Qur'an. Can you imagine? فإن أرادا فصالا عن تراض منهما وتشاور. Fisal is weaning the child. If they want to do that before 2 years old, they should come together to a meeting. And that meeting they should have a consensus between them, and tashawur and consultation. Subhanallah. All this just because that child. Subhanallah. And then, so that's why here, he said, if now the waiting period finished, she has a child, it's a responsibility for a man to give his ex-wife some financial support for breastfeeding the child. So suppose now the wife is very angry because of this divorce. She said, I will never breastfeed your child. Allah said, you should give her money for that. It's your child. And they should also have a meeting, as Qur'an said here. وَأْتَمِرُوا بَيْنَكُمْ بِمَعْرُوفٍ. Okay, then what if they don't come to any conclusion? The wife, yes, go on.
He should give her money when?
Sorry?
When should he give her money?
Should give money for the wife to breastfeed the child after divorce. So if the wife was very angry, she asked for a lot of money. She said, no, I will give you this. And there is a conflict. Then Allah said, فَإِن تَعَاسَرْتُمْ, if you don't come to agreement, if there is a difficulty in that consultation, فَسَتُرْضِعُ لَهُ أُخْرَى, then the father should give a money for another woman, a nursing woman, to breastfeed the child. Again and again, breastfeeding is very important in Islam. And in that time, there is no bottle feed. So it's this very common there to have a nursing woman. But look at the point here of the rights of the child to have breastfeeding. That even his mother refused that, the father should go and look for someone else and pay for that. لِيُنْفِقْ ذُو سَعَةٍ مِّن سَعَتِهِ. And he said, that accommodation or that provision you spend for your wife during the waiting period, or for the pregnant, even after, for the breastfeeding, all of these financial matters depends to your means. لِيُنْفِقْ ذُو سَعَةٍ مِّن سَعَتِهِ. If you are a wealthy man, then you should pay according to your status. If you are just very poor, then according to you. Then Allah said, لَا يُكَلِّفُ اللَّهُ نَفْسًا إِلَّا مَا أَتَاهُ. Allah will not ask you for something it's not according to your means. Allah will not do that. He will ask you, depend to what He give to you. But He mentioned a very nice statement. سَيَجْعَلُ اللَّهُ بَعْدَ عُسْرٍ يُسْرًا. Allah will bring ease after difficulty. He repeated this a lot before. وَمَنْ يَتَّقِ اللَّهَ يَجْعَلْ لَهُ مَخْرَجًا, as we said last time. It means you deal with Almighty. You don't deal with your spouse. When you do it in the best way, when you fear Allah, Allah will bring ease for you, even if you are in difficult matter. Okay, this now, in this ayah, all the ahkam, the rules of talaq finish. That's why I want to summarize and mention some rules, some questions that you mentioned last time. But just the end of this surah is not about rules. It's about number one, what if the community doesn't care about these rules of talaq? What if you don't take this seriously? Just when it is any divorce, we go to our norms and traditions. Allah said, the consequences when the society and civilization doesn't take this seriously. وَكَأَيٍّ مِّن قَرْيَةٍ عَتَتْ عَنْ أَمْرِ رَبِّهَا وَرُسُلِهِ فَحَاسَبْنَاهَا حِسَابًا شَدِيدًا. قرية in Quranic terms, in many places in Quran doesn't mean village. Don't confuse here. Qarya and Qura in majority, when it's mentioned in Quran, doesn't mean village at all. It means something very bigger than that. It means society or even civilization. Qura, كم أهلكنا من القرى, it means how many civilizations we destroyed before, not villages. So don't confuse with this. So he said, how many society, how many civilization, when they go beyond the limits of Allah, Allah destroyed them and bring a severe punishment for them. Why he mentioned this in talaq? And immediately after the rules. The point here, take it seriously. If you solve your problems in talaq according to the norms and traditions, not according to Sharia, there is a big punishment will come to the society. There's a bad consequences will occur here. That's very powerful ayah. And then the second passage is he remind us of the blessing of revelation. You are a unique ummah. You are not like any nations. You have a reminder from Allah. The rules in details came from the heaven. You have Rasulullah bayna adhur. You have the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam. يتلو عليكم آيات الله. You have a prophet receive a revelation and recite it to you. So you are a unique civilization, a unique ummah. And then he said that Prophet ﷺ came to you to bring you out from darkness to light. It means when you apply the rules of talaq, divorce, or marriage, the society will have a light. That's why we have a Surah An-Nur in Quran, the Surah of Light. And Surah of Light is all about family issues. Can you imagine? It means there's a big difference between society who go according to Sharia, that's full of light, or society according just to these worldly rules. This is darkness. That's why Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala finished this surah with this. And then the last ayah, remind us of the attributes of Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala, the one who sent all these rules for us. And this is a very, very powerful ayah that no one can imagine. It's in Surah At-Talaq. Because Allah talk about His greatness, He said, Allahu alladhi, Allah is the one who created 7 heavens and 7 earths, and the revealing and His commands came down from the heaven to the earth. Then you will know that Allah control everything and He knows everything. This is the end of Surah At-Talaq. A strong reminder for every husband or wife, when you listen to that voice of Satan about hatred or go beyond the limits of Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala, or the in-laws when they involve in this and they try to do some crazy stuff, Surah At-Talaq is very serious. May Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala make us ability to act according to the Qur'an. Okay, this askinuhunna. I'll now give you case studies, and I will go for it in details just to combine all the ahkam of divorce. Okay, number one, a man give divorce to his wife. Okay, first time. Does the marriage now finish? No, at all. Okay. When that husband passed away during the waiting period before he returned his wife, what will happen? Does he still his wife? Yes. Her right to inheritance, absolutely there. That's a consensus between scholars. To show you that divorce is just a process. Okay. Number two, that's called talaq raj'i. Talaq raj'i, it means a revocable divorce. It means when the man gives divorce and before waiting period finish, he return his wife again. Okay, that's the first one. The second case study, a man and a woman made a marriage contract. Okay, there is no intimacy yet, just a marriage contract. Intimacy maybe after 5 months. Okay, the husband give a divorce before intimacy. What's the rule here in iddah, in waiting period? Is there any iddah? No, mashallah, very good. No waiting period, okay? And no waiting period, that's, can he return? There's no waiting period, so no return also. That's called irrevocable divorce, because he can't return her. Just even he say it once, that's it, finish. Okay, no waiting period. Okay, the same case study, they did the marriage contract, and before intimacy, the husband passed away. What's the rule here? Is she his wife? Is there iddah first? Yes, there is iddah. How long? 4 months and 10 days. Okay, can she involve inheritance? Yes, she's a wife. Just passed away. Good. Okay, third case study. A man now gives divorce to his wife in the third time. Okay, this is the third time now. He divorced her twice before. Now he give her divorce in the third time. She's starting her waiting period. Can he return her? No. No, till even after the waiting period finish. Yes, even till she get married with another one with intimacy, and then they get divorced, then they can return again. Okay, the same case study. He give her divorce in the third time. Okay, in that waiting period, now there's a difference between scholars about staying at home or even financial support. So when that happens, you just come and ask some expert in that. But the most important is, what if he give her the divorce for the third time, and during the waiting period, the husband passed away? What do you think? Is there any iddah for death or not? Yes, anyone said no? No, okay. Ulama differences. Good. Yes, it's no. There is no iddah. Because iddah depends if she is still wife or not. That makes sense. After the third divorce, she's not his wife at all. So why she make iddah for the death? There's no iddah for death. There is only she will complete her iddah for divorce. That's it. But in the previous case study, if they are in the waiting period and it's not the third one, and he passed away, that woman will shift, that's your question, will shift between the iddah of talaq to the iddah of divorce. Again, a man give divorce in the first time to his wife. During iddah of talaq. Wait, a man give a divorce to his wife in the first time. During the waiting period, he passed away. We have two iddahs now. We have the iddah of divorce and we have the iddah of death. She should shift straight away to the iddah of death. Iddah of talaq now is finished. Is not finished, but it's just shift to the iddah of death and start 4 months and 10 days. Go on. Yes. Because, very good question. The only case they can't return together when it's after the 3rd divorce. Anything else, he can return her. But again, with her consent, with a new marriage, a new contract, a new dowry, everything is new. Yes, everything is new. Okay. What now? We go to the... Did you remember that we said before that there is 3 ways for finish the marriage? Talaq, and khul' and fasakh. Did you remember? Talaq is from the husband side, khul' is from the wife's side, and fasakh is from the judge when the husband abuses his wife. So that's from the judge. Okay. Let me talk about the khul'. Khul' is when the woman, now the man and woman get married, they have intimacy. After a while, she found out that there's no compatibility. The husband doesn't do anything wrong for her. He doesn't do anything wrong. Just in her side, she doesn't want to continue. She felt incompatibility. Okay, now the husband, he spent a lot in the marriage. As we said, he should give the dowry and the accommodation and the provision. Now in Islam, he doesn't force women to stay in a marriage which is not happy. But the Islam said to the woman, okay, give your husband compensation. Either return the whole mahar or some of the mahar, just upon agreed. Okay? Okay. When she give that, she straight away start her iddah. Okay? Start her iddah. Okay. Is now clear? Okay. During her iddah, if the man passed away, does she inherit him or not? Is the case clear, guys? Okay. So here, no, she can't inherit. She is not his wife. That's called irrevocable divorce. طلاق بائن. بينونة الصغرى. بائن. It means irrevocable. Anything irrevocable, it means they are not married anyway. So if the man passed away, she's not his wife. She's just completing her iddah and that's it. And her iddah, we said before, there's 2 opinions. The vast majority of scholars, the same iddah of the divorced woman. And some scholars, which is the majority of the court in Islamic country now, they go for this minor opinion that her iddah is just 1 month. Just 1 month. Okay. That's also yes, gone. When she finished, we're still in the khul'. Okay, she gave the compensation. She started her iddah either 1 month or 3 months. Okay, when she finished her iddah, can the husband return her again after the iddah or not? Yes, mashallah, you are faqih. Yes, he can return her because that's irrevocable but minor. You know, he can return always except in one case. When it's 3 divorce, okay? He can return, but if she agree with that, and he will give a new dowry, a new marriage contract, everything new, just like they married in the first time. Okay? Okay, that's the most cases. Now we'll start our questions, inshallah. That's my side. If you have any questions, yes, go on. What happened to the children? That's not in Surah At-Talaq. That's different course. That's called Ahkam al-Hadana, which is a big chapter in fiqh. Inshallah, maybe next time we'll talk about it, inshallah ta'ala. But the man still have responsibility for a long time. So it's a message for any man who have a children. Bear in mind, you are responsible till they become adult. Okay, go on. No, only for the children. Yes, now he will give her to take care of, but the money he will give her is for the children. But already she'll get benefit, yes. But it's for his children, not his wife. Once they agree, either they give it or not. I mean, they write down, okay, she said, I will give you dowry back. Then she said, for example, I don't have it now, I will make the installment, for example. Every month I will give you, that's fine. Anything, agreement that agree upon, once they agree, then he'll give her divorce and they start the iddah. So the only case they can't return when it's 3 divorces. Anything else they can return after the waiting period finish. What's the wisdom behind if he give her 3rd divorce, she can't return to him till she get married with another one and intimacy? Okay, number 1, that's the rule that Allah made explicit in Qur'an. Wisdom is something beyond the rule. Sometimes we know the wisdom, sometimes we don't know the wisdom. But we should obey the rules anyway, either we know it or not. But the wisdom that many mufassirin mention, that they said, Qur'an, Allah Ta'ala gave him 3 chances. And he didn't take that. That means he need some a very hard lesson now. He need, if she get married with another one, then that will we say him, oh, now he will appreciate, for example, that he lost now a chance. If the divorce forever, the men will never learn. But when that happens, that will be a big lesson for them. Yes. What's the types of irrevocable talaq? Number 1, if the husband get divorced after the contract and before intimacy, that's irrevocable talaq. Number 2, khul' is irrevocable talaq. Okay. Number 3, if it's just 1 talaq but the waiting period finish, now irrevocable talaq. She can't return unless, okay. The 3rd one is the 3rd talaq. But all of this is minor irrevocable, except the 3 divorce, it's major irrevocable. So any of this irrevocable talaq, the woman is not his wife, is non-mahram. Non-mahram. Okay. He can't see her without hijab. Yes. If the khul', if the wife asks for khul', and the khul' take long process, sometimes for 1 year. What's the case of that 1 year before khul'? Okay. Guys, before the agreement happen, she's still his wife. Once the agreement of khul' happen, now the iddah start. Before that, they still spouses. Does that make sense? So, for example, she asked for khul'. She said no. She said amount of money. She said no. And they still with this agreement. Khul' is not started. Because khul' started when the husband agree with her, and he will say, okay, I will give you divorce. Khul' started now. Before that, they're just still in the discussion. Very good. What if the husband refuse to agree with that khul'? Okay. Then in that case, the woman should go to Islamic counseling, and they will see if there's a big, if there is a psychological problem, or there's a big harm for her if she stay in this. The judge will apply for that. If there is no agreement, go to the judge. Yes. No, it's not good for woman. No, it's not good for woman to ask for divorce for no reason. That's not good at all.
Is that true?
Okay, is it common? Are you married or single? Okay. She asked me, is that common for a woman to ask for divorce? I don't know. My wife doesn't. She never asked me for divorce. 23 years, alhamdulillah. Okay. Bear in mind for these young people, It's very common for some women to ask for divorce just to test you if you love her or not. So don't take it seriously, okay? They ask, divorce me now. She expects you to say, oh, I never think about this, how I can do that. Let's go to the restaurant, okay? That's just for a trick of women. So usually when they ask, they don't mean it, okay?
What does she do? What does her status? Can she remarry?
Okay. Okay. The husband left his wife. She doesn't know where he is. The rumor has spread that he remarried another woman. Can she marry another woman? Okay. If the fuqaha discuss a mas'ala called zawjatul mafqud. When a woman lost her husband, maybe she traveled to a country and there is no news at all. No news at all. What she should do? For the majority of scholars, she should spend 4 years. After that 4 years, then now she's just starting her waiting period, and now she can get married with another one. In that days, news is difficult to find, and so that's the zawjatul mafqud. For the majority of scholars, is 4 years. If the husband, the first one, came after she get married, if it's before intimacy, then she should return to her first husband. If after intimacy, she should stay with her second husband. That's if they lost. If she heard the news that he get another wife, then she should call him or bring some of a bodyguard with her and go to him and discuss in very nice way. Okay, because when the rumor spread, that means she know where he is. Okay? Anyway, if there is any harm of woman and she doesn't know where his husband, many of the modern scholars doesn't take that 4 years, and they said she should go to the judge. But for our fiqh, vast majority of scholars, for the zawjat al-mafqud is 4 years, yes. If the husband is in, you didn't ask about that, that's good. Okay, go on. We said that before. What if they give 3 talaq in one go? Okay, number one, we said it's consensus between all scholars, this is haram, called talaq bid'i. That's consensus of all scholars. Talaq bid'i. We said that talaq bid'i, if you give divorce during the cycle month, that's haram. If you give talaq during after the cycle month and you have intimacy with her and you give divorce, that's also haram. If you give her 3 divorces in one go, that's also talaq bid'i. That's haram, consensus. But the difference is, does that valid or not? For the mashhur of 4 madahib, yes, it's valid, it's count. For some minor scholars, al-Zahiriyya and some prominent scholars in the past, Ibn Taymiyyah, Ibn al-Qayyim, and a lot of modern scholars, they said it's not valid. I would say, if a man came to me and he said that divorce 3 times in one go, for me, I will differentiate between 2 cases. If I see that there is no way for this marriage to continue, this man doesn't care, is a careless man, he just want I will go straight away for the majority of scholars and say talaq is finished. If I realize that the man, no, he's just out of anger, he are very regret for that, and he want really to come again, and I would give him fatwa with the minority. I would say it just once. So it depends to the rukhsa and azima. Okay, is it valid when it's out of anger? Vast majority of scholars, they said usually talaq, majority of talaq come always with anger. So it doesn't mean that you are angry, that it doesn't valid. Unless you reach a status of angry that you don't know what you said. For example, some people, they completely unconscious. If you ask them, what did you say? He doesn't remember. Where are you? In which room you give this? I don't remember. That type of angry, yes, that's not count. But a normal anger, that's count. For the 4 madahib. Definitely. Yes. Yes, the 5 divorce in one go for the 4 madahib, Maliki, Shafi'i, Hanafi, Hanbali, it's valid. Marriage is haram, is consent, definitely haram. But it counts. This is the mas'ala, if you read history, where the Ibn Taymiyyah get to the present. That's for this mas'ala. Because he's give fatwa that the 3 talaq in one go is just one. So the fuqaha in his time, they become angry and they said they go against the madahib and they talk to the ruler and he get him in the prison. That's the famous mas'ala. Yes, go on. Allah said, إِلَّا وُسْعَهَا in Baqarah, here say, إِلَّا مَا أَتَى. إِلَّا وُسْعَهَا is more general, more abroad. And in Surah Al-Baqarah, he talked about all the commands of Allah, the general rule. He said, وُسْعَهَا. But when he talk about talaq, this is specifically for the financial issues. So he say, ata, what I gave to you from a financial matter. Good question. What if the woman go to the waiting period of death? Her husband passed away. We said the waiting period is how long? 4 months and 10 days. What's the rules in that waiting period? Okay, rule number 1, the woman should stay at home. What does staying at home mean? It means doesn't sleep in any other house. Can she go during the day? Yes. The majority of scholars said, yes, she can go during the day. For example, if she is working, for example, and she can't take a leave for this 4 months that will harm her job, for example, yes, she can go to the job, but she should stay at night, sleep only at the home. That's number 1. Number 2, she should avoid any zina. What's zina in English? Beautification. Okay. I mean, she doesn't make makeup, for example, very fancy dresses, for example, no perfume. So that's also during the waiting period. What else? Yes, that's the main things. Yes, go on.
That's outside the house.
Even in the house. She can take a bath, she can take a shower, she can do the soap, all of this fine. But perfume specifically is a type of beautification. One common mas'ala here that some people, they thought that no man from her mahram can visit her. That's completely wrong. That's just norms. Her mahrams can visit her and talk to her. That's not prohibited in Sharia. So if her brothers, her nephews, yes, they can visit her, they can talk to her. Some traditions have this, that's not from Sharia. Sorry? If the house is not secure for her, she can change the house and start her iddah there. Can other man approach her to give a proposal? No, he can't. Allah said he can do only one thing. وَلَا جُنَاحَ عَلَيْكُمْ فِي مَا عَرَّضْتُمْ بِهِ مِنْ خِطْبَةِ النِّسَاءِ. He can send someone to her, not to give a proposal, but just say to his sister, if you can go to this woman and mention that I am interested, if the iddah finish. Just to show the int, but not to give the proposal, or just give a hint. عَرَّضْتُمْ بِهِ. جزاكم الله خيرا. Inshallah, see you inshallah in another course, بإذن الله تعالى. This course is finished now. Maybe there is some lessons in Ramadan maybe. And we will take another surah after Ramadan, inshallah ta'ala. Allah tabarak wa ta'ala increase our knowledge. May Allah guide us to the straight path. أسأل الله أن يغفر لنا ولكم. May Allah tabarak wa ta'ala give all our families this love and mercy and stability. Wallahu alam wa sallallahu ala abdi rasul sayyidina Muhammad.